Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick and today I'm building another house in The Sims 4. In this one, I have been waiting so long to finally share it with you. There's been a lot of planning and preparation and love that went into this build. It is probably the build that I'm most proud of ever. I think it is absolutely stunning. The house is just so cool. So cool. It's so big, so luxurious. It's actually Lady Gaga's house in Malibu, California. She bought it a while back, and there's some real estate pictures online that I was able to reference a lot for making sure that everything in the outside of the house was just right. I took a few creative liberties because obviously the game doesn't have everything that is available in real life, but I tried my absolute hardest to make it feel and look as much like the reference pictures as possible. I also referenced her documentary, 5'2", and her Vogue 73 questions video, which she did in the backyard of this house to really make sure I was getting it just right. I've only done the exterior. I haven't started the inside yet. Well, that's kind of a lie. I've started the inside. The whole floor plan is done. I added some lights. I figured out just a few planning things, but I haven't furnished the inside yet. So this is currently unfurnished. However, the entire outside of the house is furnished. All the patios, all the backyard, all the landscaping fully looks like someone is living here. So you can download the house on the gallery under my user ID at @NickLastGame and decorate it to your heart's desire. And there's a lot of rooms in this house. It has an entire guest house too, over to the left of the screen right now, and it's connected by this little walkway, this covered walkway with its own patio. There's so much outdoor living space in this house. It's great. I think the place on the lot and in this specific world, it's the world that came with Get Famous, and it's the biggest lot. It's 64 by 64, which is so much space. I've stayed away from building on lots that large because that's a lot of space to fill. And whether you're filling it with landscaping or just one giant house or a castle or anything really, that's a really, really big space. So I've kind of avoided it, but this house takes up the full 64 tiles in such a nice way. It doesn't feel overwhelming, but there's so much room that you really could never run out, and if you did, you could just build a basement under the house. There is one in real life. I didn't build it in the game because you can't really see it, so I only do that if I'm building something with like a walkout basement usually. If I was playing personally, I remember many years ago when I would actually play the game and have families and everything. I haven't done that in so long, but I would have basements because it was just a really great way to add space to a house without having to like go get a new house if you didn't want to do that. But now that I kind of just build houses, I don't tend to do the basement because it's just extra furnishing stuff, but you could easily add in the basement. And the inside of this house, once I get done with it, it's also going to be so cool. I will post a follow-up video once I've decorated it. It might be a bit because I'm a little spent after decorating the whole outside, but you can already see it's coming together and how just gorgeous this property is. There's a huge pool. Let me get you some facts about this house actually. It has 6 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. That's kind of, you can change that. It's not decorated, so go wild. It's a Mediterranean style, and some of the best features of it are its landscaped grounds, guest house, large pool and hot tub. Disclaimer, I don't know if the hot tub is usable. I kind of put it in more for decoration, but there's a really big pool and plenty of room for you to add another hot tub if you wanted to have one that's more functional. Several outdoor living spaces, and yeah. I use train tools too, which is pretty hard, I think. I think that's a really tough thing to master in the game. Not for any particular reason or like fault of the game. I'm just not really the best at actually using it. So I kind of stay away from it, but it was unavoidable when I realized that I wanted to have the pool at a slightly lower tier of the backyard. So I have this like platform staircase thing so that you can actually get down from the main part of the backyard patio to that lower level. In the real house, there's a bit more of a walkway to the pool, but I'm limited by space in the game. This property is actually like acres and acres. There's a whole separate building for horses and lots of land just for the horses to run around, which, you know, in the new expansion pack horse ranch, maybe we get bigger lots or something so that you could really include that. I doubt it. There might be a few large lots, but I doubt they'd like actually expand the max size to fully incorporate it. But in real life, Gaga has plenty of extra space and a tennis court, I think. So it's massive. I couldn't fit everything, but I wanted to get all of the main portions of the house, and I think I did that. And I hope you think I did that too. Right now, I'm going in and adding some landscaping to, I don't know what you want to call this. It's like an elevated garden that's part of the back patio. It's all elevated. So is it like just the backyard? I don't think it's too important. I'm getting caught up in that. But this house had so much landscaping, and I like the use of the different colors and plants. She has it pretty uniform, or at least the pictures that I looked at had it pretty uniform, not as fully natural, at least on those garden beds with the little stepping stones, which I hope you enjoyed that part of the video where it was just me placing them one by one, because I knew when I was filming that would be really fun to see sped up. So it's over now, and it's been for a minute, but when that was there, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going in and adding some terrain paint now too to kind of just make the lot look a bit more real, and I play with the different textures of grass, which I don't always do, but I figured since I do have a little bit of open space there that I wanted to make it look a little bit more interesting visually, and I think I did a decent job with that. I added a little barrier to that staircase, just how I kind of saw it in real life. There's this really big area off to the garage that I'm building, or off of the garage that I'm building right now, that has, I think, like garbage cans and a lot of utility things, like these big air conditioning units. In the real pictures, I wasn't able to see if you could actually access this back area, but I figured since it's just such a large space, why not make it accessible to you, at least in the game. And I know that she has all these fun, like, kind of farm animals, so I added this little, I think it's a chicken coop, to honor that part of the lot that I wasn't able to fully include. There's some bicycles, and now I'm adding in the pathways at the front of the house, and there's a whole bunch of different like ways to enter the property, which I love. In big houses like this, I think that's always so luxurious if you're able to get inside and outside of the house connected all throughout. It makes the whole property just feel so much more connected, and I recommend, even if you're building a smaller house, if you can add a way to get to the outside 2 times, front and back door, that is good enough. But in big houses like this, keep going, because when you're inside, it'll be nice to go and get some fresh air. That's my thoughts. And it kind of helps with landscaping too. I didn't have to make all this up as I went along. I had some references. I did kind of play with what I wanted exactly, because I didn't pay attention to like what types of trees she had. I kind of just went for like, if it looked like this, I think it's a cypress, like those tall, skinny, darker green ones. I try to keep those in similar locations and spacing and colors, but you know, I used what I had in the game. So what I was saying is, if you add some extra places to get outside from inside, that gives you a new little patio space, which is always amazing, and you can connect them all together. And this house is just a perfect example of you being able to walk from one end of the house to the other, inside, outside, whichever way, and still being able to get in. I think that's really cool. It makes it feel way more like this is a property, you know? And here you can see the elevation that I played with. There's kind of a sloped driveway up to, from the entrance of the lot, you can walk up some stairs to get to the front door, which in real life I think is more flat, but I can't really like have the lot start at one height and end at another. It has to all be flat to begin with, and I go from there. So you start lower, there's a staircase up to the main house, and there's also the sloping driveway that's just using the train tools. And I thought that was cool. I also really like that half circle little detail by the pool. I saw that in the real house, and I wanted to make sure to include that. Oh my god, I'm so bad at telling you actual facts about this house. It's $207,000, $207,948 right now, and that's without any of the interior done. So we'll see if it breaks the threshold that Rihanna's house had. I don't know if it will, because Rihanna just had rooms on rooms on rooms. That lot was entirely full of house, and it did have a basement because the garage was a basement. This house, I don't know if I'll be able to break that point. We'll see. Stay tuned, subscribe for when the follow-up to this video comes out. But yeah, I have built another celebrity's house before. It was Rihanna's. I just finished decorating it, which was really fun. I like decorating bigger houses in small bursts. I love doing smaller houses and just cranking those out, small, medium-sized houses, because those are fun, easy. You can really play with a lot of different styles quickly when you're building houses of that size. But when you're doing something this large, that's a lot of time that you're building in the same style. Usually, you can switch up styles, but, you know, at least for the outside, I kind of keep it the same. This was like 5 or 6 hours just of building. So I sped it up a lot, cut out pieces that I didn't think were too important, and I hope that you don't mind that. If you want to see things that were cut out, just download the house. You should be able to see pretty much everything one way or another just by watching the video. But if you really want to fully explore the property and the floor plan and everything, the best way to do that is download it. If there's houses you want me to build in the future, also let me know, because I'm down for some recommendations. We are just about at the end of this video. There's some screenshots at the end for you to watch to see the property just at its best, some pretty pictures. I made a few tiny tweaks in those, so if you want to see the final product, stay tuned for those in a few seconds. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, year, everything. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!